What's up, everybody? It's your favorite T-Rex's favorite nerd, and today we are looking at the studio series Grimlock. You know my general rule on this stuff, I will review it as long as I don't have to put forth any effort into getting it or sending it back. Luckily, Chris Pinkerton, if you're nasty, head honcho over there at Crashbox Customs, as well as a co-host of Nerd Rage Radio and member of Enter the Realm, is buying these for now. So he brought them over for me to take a look at because he thought that maybe you guys would want to know what I thought of them, and just everybody looking out for everybody here. So we're gonna look at them and I'll let you know what I think. It's a mixed bag, I'll be honest with you, but neither here nor there. Let's get started, but in order to do so, let's start with accessories. He comes with his signature weapon. You can't have one without him. I'm surprised he doesn't come with a sword, but interesting nonetheless. Just black plastic, not a lick of paint on it. He'll hold that just fine with the 5mm peg. You can of course tab it into his side hips in Dinosaur Mode if you'd like, pretty much anywhere with a 5mm port. You can also store it by utilizing this side with the two tabs and those two ports on his back. I'll tell you, oh, good grief. This is even less desirable to me. But if you like it, you win. You can put it right there. And you get wheelie, and he comes with an accessory, which is his slingshot, just a single cast piece of plastic that he will hold just fine. I'll tell you, I thought this guy was supposed to transform. So it's really disappointing that he doesn't, especially for the price point. The head does swivel, or actually it's on a ball peg, so you get a little bit up and down, plus a swivel. Nice paint. We have the orange on there as well as the silver. I'm looking. Looks like to me anyway. Hard to say. And then the blue eyes. Ball peg shoulders. You don't really get out to the side. You got to kind of spin them around. You just get the swivel. What are we doing? And a little bit of in and out, like a little bit of a, I guess, a bicep swivel for lack of a better term. And you get some paint on here. It is interesting to me that I think it's gray plastic and the orange and pink are painted. You would think it'd be orange plastic and the gray and pink would be painted, but interesting. I guess it all had to do with the sprue for Grimlock. And same for this side. Once again, the arm is stuck. And then for the, we got a waist swivel. Autobot symbol on the chest, and then the legs are on T-jointed ball joints, and you know, nothing else. You can't really do much with him. It's kind of stupid, I'll be honest with you. Pretty dumb. And then he clips on to ride Grimlock in Dinosaur Mode by utilizing these side pegs on the side of Grimlock's neck. But unless you have him like up at a crazy angle, you can probably just sit him wherever you'd like, to be fair, and balance him properly. But there is an option available to you. All right, let's talk about the figure. So I really like the head sculpt. I like it quite a bit. One of the better things here. I like the metallic blue on the eyes, no translucent light piping, and I like the kind of tech sculpt stuff in the face. I think they did a really good job. The head is on a ball peg, and then the neck flap is on a hinge, so using both, you can get the head fairly far down, up even a good bit, and then the swivel, confused Grimlock look a taste, so it works okay. Now, what I'm not crazy about are the overall proportions. Like, I'm not crazy about the Superman underpants. They just seem a bit large, and it seems that though like there's not enough abdomen. It's all chest. There's not enough down here, and then the pelvis is huge. It's not the worst thing in the world. It just is off-putting to me when I look at it. I wish I liked my shoulders up a little higher. There's just things about this that don't feel like the character to me. Hate to say it. Hate to see it. So, moving on to the chest. It is sculpted nicely, and it is painted beautifully with this metallic gold. There's a number of metallic paint accents on here that I like quite a bit. Then it has this translucent piece over top of the Autobot symbol. The Autobot symbol looks sculpted and painted, which is nice to see also. For the shoulders, universal joints, you can get them out to 90 degrees. Soft ratchets around. No issues there. Tons of sculpted detail. I think it all looks pretty good. Bicep swivel. It is a single jointed elbow, but gets you almost the full run. Kills the sculpt, but I think it's okay. This is lazy. This should have been sorted out, especially at $50. It could have had a flap. It even looks like it wants a flap there. It could have had a flap. Really a bummer. You do get a wrist swivel this time though, and you do get the wrist hinge because of the transformation, so that's cool. Same for the other side. Waist swivel, no issues there. No ab crunch, which is another thing I feel like at $50 you probably could have thrown something like that in there. All right, hips, pins universals, full Van Damme, full Monty. Also the abdomen is painted red on the front too, which is nice. Thigh swivel, no issues there. Soft ratcheted knee, 90 degrees. I'm good with that for a big bulky character like this as well. Nice paint there on accent wise. Some sculpted detail stuff. It fills out pretty clean. Kind of takes some pages from the MP stuff that we've seen. I'm okay with that. Ankles, no ankle tilt down, no real ankle tilt up, but you do get a rocker. And oh, you know, for the wings, those are important. So they hinge and they hinges here. They hinge here as well. And then you can kind of tuck this head back as far as you want and keep that nice and clean. But and then you can tuck the arms, do whatever you want with them. It's kind of a dealer's choice sort of situation. Also, no sword. Kind of seems weird, but whatevs. Okay, let's do some Sass comparisons. So I actually have something to show this time, and that's this Jazz. So there, hopefully that'll give you somewhat of an idea. That's about what he is, about half the height, or half the double the size of Jazz. All right, so let's get him transformed. Flip the heels up and under to the bottom of his feet. Flip these pieces out, and you can flip these tail pieces out. They're actually on a double hinge, so they'll come up. And then it just turns around. That comes down to the back. This scoots over. The tail sits in place. Same on this side. Scoots over. And then tab this together. Then, you're not going to believe this, but tuck the hands in. Bring the chest down to the bottom, just like the G1. Spin the head around, or actually you can leave it, I think, flat. Tuck that in. Bring the chest pieces around. Plug them together. Bring the dinosaur head around. I'll clean it up. We'll take a look at it. So let's look at Dinosaur Mode, and I think it pulls it off fairly well, honestly. I hate that he's missing his front teeth. Like, I super hate that. But aside from that, I think, like, the profile of it looks pretty good. The red paint comes through. The gold metallic paint looks really good. The metallic paint here in the back looks great, along with the green and the red. Like, all of the paint applications and general sculpt of this guy look pretty good. Autobot symbol looks good. Yeah, I don't have any real issues. The toes look good. Articulation-wise, you do get ball peg shoulders. That gets you a little bit of out to the side, plus the swivel, a hinge for the elbow, and that's pretty much it. And then these work, you know, relatively the same way. Out to the side, you still get the swivel. You get the knee back. You also get the knee forward. And then you get the toes. So, looks pretty good to me. You know what I mean? I think it's fine. Then you get the jaw. It does open. And the head does hinge up, and then this will peg in for effects, but it doesn't come with any. So I guess just food for thought. And then there it is with Tiger Tracks. I will say, it's not the best balanced thing. Like, there's a lot of weight on the backside, so like, just as I've been like messing with them and taking pictures of them and stuff, I've been having a hard time kind of making them balance appropriately. You kind of have to use the tail as a tripod, or really put some effort into making it sort of balanced. And it's not impossible, but it just takes a little bit of doing, because it's not the most well balanced figure out there. Final thoughts wise, let's start with the negatives. The wheelie is complete garbage. It's an accessory and not a figure, and it should have been a figure, especially at the price point. Had it been a transforming figure with limited articulation, it would have changed the dynamics of this set completely. But because it's this awkwardly bow-legged, knock-kneed nonsense, it ends up looking more like a throwaway, even though they gave it a fair amount of paint. It's a gimmick. Moving on. I will also say it should have come with a sword. Better to come with a sword that works than a wheelie that doesn't. It should have come with flaps that cover the holes in the forearms, especially at the price point. The proportions are a little weird to me, but that's certainly subjective. Also at the price point, we should probably start thinking about ankle tilts, hand articulation. If you want to play in the adult pool, you got to learn how to swim like an adult. I just feel like we probably could have given this a little bit more. Once again, at the price point, you change this thing to $30, get wheelie out of here, completely changes how I view this. Which, in all honesty, isn't terrible. It does have some good things going for it. Most of the articulation is there. It's certainly the best looking mainline Grimlock that we've gotten since the original G1. It's sculpted beautifully. There is a significant amount of paint with the metallic golds, the metallic blues, even some nice red and green paint on there, as well as the nice paint that we get at the abdomen to tie in the red color scheme. I think both modes look pretty good, and the transformation is kind of simple, straightforward, but fun and makes you remember the days of G1, especially if you have the nostalgic ties to it. Although it does have the two big hollow open cavities of concern in the forearms, for the most part it fills most of the pieces in quite nicely. And while the Dinosaur Mode may be a bit lackluster in the fact that it's missing its front teeth and stands better using its tail as a third leg than not, it still feels fun and definitely grabs the character of Grimlock. So it's a recommend for me if you're in for the line. It's not a recommend to get into the line on the strength of the figure. Hope that makes sense. But either way, interesting to see them play at a higher price point. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Until next time, take care.